You've been lied to. And the lie sounds good, doesn't it? Take it easy. Don't push too hard. You deserve to rest. But let me tell you the truth they don't want you to hear. Comfort is a silent killer, and it's got more bodies than failure ever will. Comfort lulls you to sleep while your dreams rot. It wraps you up nice and cozy while your goals gather dust. And here's the worst part. Most people will choose being comfortable and stuck over being uncomfortable and powerful. That's why they never change, never grow, never become anything more than what they've always been. They confuse peace with passivity, relaxation with regression, and then wonder why they feel hollow. Every time you choose comfort, you trade your potential for temporary pleasure. Every time you back down from discomfort, you reinforce weakness. Real talk. You don't rise by staying still. You grow when it's awkward, when it's scary, when it's hard. That's where greatness lives. But most folks, they'd rather stay broke than be bothered, stay weak than be wounded, stay small than be stretched. And that's why average keeps winning. Because average ain't loud, it's sneaky. It whispers, just chill, and you listen. But if you want to be built different, you gotta get loud, get uncomfortable, and get in the mud. Or you'll stay right where you are, watching others pass you by. Let me take you back to 8th grade, back when I hated English class, back when I thought I was dumb just like my pops, back when confidence was a stranger and shame was a roommate. I didn't like school, I didn't like speaking up, and I dang sure didn't like teachers who thought they knew me. One day, we're studying this Greek poem, and something in me just clicked. I saw it, not just the words, but the meaning, the soul underneath it. I raised my hand, spoke up, and poured it all out. Every emotion, every connection, every way it tied into my life. I didn't even know I had that in me. It shocked me. It shocked her. She looked at me and said, "Very good, Michael." And for a moment, I felt smart, seen, powerful. But then she cut me down right after, in front of everybody, said, "Too bad you couldn't be this sharp when it mattered, instead of ending up in summer school." The whole class laughed, and I wanted to disappear. That day taught me two things. One, people will celebrate your shine only if it fits their timeline. And two, your gift doesn't need their permission. You can be brilliant and still be dismissed. You can be growing and still be underestimated. But that doesn't mean you stop. That doesn't mean you shrink. That means you build anyway. You speak anyway. You show up anyway. Because your growth is still valid, even if they don't clap. Now I gotta ask you something real. Where are you falling short? Not where you post the highlight reel, not where you pretend everything's fine, but where the truth sits ugly in the mirror. Where are you choosing comfort over greatness? Where are you talking like a lion, but moving like a lamb? Be honest. Are you coasting? Are you lying to yourself? Are you waiting on motivation like it's a bus that's never coming? Because if so, let me be the rude awakening. This ain't about motivation. This is about transformation. If you want change, you don't need hype. You need heat, pressure, discomfort. That's the price of growth, and most people won't pay it. They'll scroll past it, avoid it, bury it under jokes and distractions, but not you. Not if you're really about that built different life. This world ain't gonna hand you power. You gotta take it, and that starts by owning your flaws, your failures, your fake little comfort zones. Stop acting like you got time. Stop thinking one day will come, tap you on the shoulder and say, "You ready now?" No, you either act or get past. You either rise or rot. There's no middle. So what's it gonna be? Will you get uncomfortable today or stay average forever? Don't just hear this. Feel it. Let it get under your skin, shake your pride, and slap the excuses out your mouth. Because that's the only way forward. The only way up, the only way to be built different. They told you to play it safe, didn't they? Sit still, follow the rules, color inside the lines. Be grateful for the crumbs, wait your turn, don't ask for too much, don't be too loud, too ambitious, too confident. They sold you that fairy tale, that if you just behave, stay polite, nod your head, everything will work out fine. Lies, all of it. You know what really happens to people who play it safe? They get passed up, stepped on, forgotten. The world rewards the bold, not the careful. Playing it safe is the fastest way to live a slow life. But they don't tell you that, do they? They just pat you on the back, tell you you're doing just fine, when really, they hope you never figure it out. Why? Because your potential threatens their comfort. Your hunger exposes their laziness. Your growth reminds them of what they're not doing. That's why they push comfort so hard, because comfort keeps you obedient, distracted, numb. But I'm here to tell you, average ain't a dream, it's a trap. And if you don't snap out of it now, you'll blink and 10 years will be gone, just like that. So no, society don't want you uncomfortable. They don't want you to challenge systems, question habits, or shake up the norm. But if you want freedom, if you want power, if you want to matter, you better start getting loud, getting bold, and getting uncomfortable, no, or you'll die in the lie they gave you. It ain't talent. It ain't luck. It ain't some secret sauce only the chosen few got. It's mindset. Plain and simple. That's the only gap between the folks who win and the ones who stay stuck. Winners don't wait for motivation. They move without it. They don't need a cheer squad, a playlist, or a perfect mood. They get up, they lock in, they execute. Losers, they wait. They pray for the perfect time, the right energy, a sign from the universe. But while they're waiting, the winner's already 10 steps ahead. Let me break it down. Winners fail, yeah, but they fail forward. They adjust, they adapt, they execute again and again and again. Losers take one L and treat it like a life sentence. They give up, they sulk, they blame. And that's the difference, man. Not skill, not background, not opportunity. It's how you think. When life hits, do you fold or do you fight? When plans fall through, do you pivot or pout? When the grind gets gritty, do you complain or commit? Because let me be real, champions don't wait for the weather to be perfect. They train in the rain, they bleed in the cold, they shine in the dark. You want to be built different? Then you better build a mindset that don't crack under pressure. Don't shake when things don't go right. And don't stop just because it hurts. Mindset ain't just everything, it's the only thing. Most people don't need new tools, they need new eyes. They're looking at the right mountain, but with the wrong mindset, and that's why they never climb it. See, perspective is power. The way you see the problem is the problem. If you think failure means stop, you'll stay stuck. But if you realize failure just means learn, you'll never quit. I used to think setbacks were signs I wasn't good enough. Now I see them as signals that I'm getting closer. Closer to the next level, closer to the real breakthrough, closer to the win. And you've been taught to fear the fall, when really the fall is what teaches you how to fly. You gotta shift your lens. Pain ain't punishment, it's preparation. Rejection ain't the end, it's redirection. Struggle ain't your enemy, it's your sculptor. But most folks don't get that because they're staring through dirty lenses, fogged up by fear, excuses, pride. Clean your lens. Change the way you frame the pressure, the discomfort, the grind. Instead of saying, why me? Start saying, try me. Instead of thinking, this is happening to me, start realizing this is happening for me. One shift, one mental switch can change the entire way you show up. When you see the obstacle as a blessing in disguise, when you stop avoiding the fire and start walking into it, that's when everything changes. Because perspective, that's the real superpower. Let's keep it all the way real. Most people ain't stuck because life hit too hard. They're stuck because they never learned how to hit back. They live in the same cycle, year after year. Same mindset, same excuses, same soft little routines that keep them in mental quicksand. You know why? Because breaking free means breaking habits, and that's uncomfortable. It means having hard talks with yourself, pulling off the mask, ripping open wounds you've tried to bury for years. And that scares people. It's easier to blame the job, the parents, the timing, the market, than to sit in a room, look in the mirror, and admit, this is on me. But let me tell you something. Freedom ain't free. You want to be free from average? You want to be free from regret, from doubt, from that nagging voice that says you ain't enough? Then you got to fight for it. You got to confront the parts of you that play small, that shrink when life gets heavy. Most folks never do that. They stay stuck in their story because it's safe, predictable, familiar. But you've seen enough. You felt enough. You're here because something in you is done settling. And I'm telling you right now, yes, it's possible. I've seen it. I've lived it. I've watched people break free from chains they wore for decades, but they didn't do it with luck. They did it with a choice to get uncomfortable, to face the pain, to rewrite the story. And if they can do it, so can you. Emotions are powerful, but if you don't control them, they will control you. You ever make a decision when you were mad, scared, tired, and then look back like, what was I thinking? That's the trap. When your feelings take the wheel, your future crashes. Winners don't move based on emotion. They use emotion, they feel it, process it, but they don't follow it. See, discipline ain't just about habits. It's about handling heat without folding. Life is gonna throw fire at you. People are gonna test you. Your plans are gonna fall apart. And your feelings will scream, quit. But your mindset, your built different wiring, that's gotta whisper back, nah, we keep going. You can't let emotions dictate the mission. You can't let a bad day become a bad week, a bad month, a wasted year. Emotional control means you respond, you don't react. It means you step back before you strike, you breathe before you break, you think before you act. That's what separates the leaders from the loudmouths, the executors from the excuses, the winners from the whiners. You got to get in tune with your emotional thermostat, learn to cool yourself down when things get hot. Because when pressure shows up, emotion rises. And if you haven't trained for that moment, you'll explode, implode, or retreat. But if you have trained, if you've practiced staying calm in chaos, grounded in storms, you become unshakable. And that's where domination begins. You can't fix what you won't face. And most people avoid the mirror like it owes them money. They'll blame the system, their boss, their upbringing, the algorithm, anything but the real culprit, themselves. Let me hit you with something tough. You are exactly where you are because of what you tolerate, what you ignore, and what you refuse to change. That's the truth. And yeah, it stings. But it's also the key to freedom. Winners aren't afraid to admit where they're weak. They do a ruthless self-audit. Daily, weekly, relentlessly. They ask, where am I slipping? Where am I soft? What habits are killing my progress? And then they execute, not with hype, but with humility. See, execution isn't sexy. It's not loud or glamorous. It's showing up when nobody claps, putting in reps when nobody's watching, doing the boring, gritty, uncomfortable stuff that average people skip. If you want to level up, you need a scoreboard. Track your habits, check your behavior, call yourself out when you move weak. And here's the test. Can you stay consistent when the results are invisible? Can you keep pushing when it feels pointless? That's execution. Not starting fast, but finishing strong. Not motivation, but method. So write it down. What are you weak at? Where are you failing? And what's one thing you can execute on today with no excuses, no delay, no lies? Because the life you want ain't waiting, and neither should you. Half-stepping will get you half a life, and that's being generous. You can't whisper your way into greatness. You can't tiptoe your way to domination. Playing small might feel safe, but it's killing you slowly, draining your energy, dimming your light, shrinking your soul. Let's be clear. The world don't reward almost. It don't hand trophies to the kinda committed. You want the win, you want the life, the legacy, the respect, then you better go all in. That means burn the backup plan. Kill the excuses. Bet everything on you. Going all in ain't just effort, it's identity. It's saying, this is who I am now, and I'm done negotiating with the weaker version of me. But most folks, they play small so they don't have to fail big. They lower their standards just so they don't have to be disappointed. But what they don't realize is, playing small is failure. It's the long, drawn-out, slow-motion version. You ain't here to be average. You're here to stretch, to reach, to scare yourself with how far you can actually go if you stop holding back. So ask yourself, where are you still playing safe? Where are you half in, half out? Where are you waiting for someone to give you permission to be great? You don't need more time. You need more courage. This is your call to double down, go full beast mode, and leave maybe in the dirt. Because the dream only responds to people who move like they mean it. Mental toughness ain't just grit, it's identity. It's what kicks in when the hype fades, when the crowd's gone, when it's just you and that ugly voice in your head telling you to quit. Most people fold not because they're weak physically, but because they're soft mentally. They want the glory without the grind, the transformation without the tears, the strength without the struggle. But let me tell you, growth don't come from easy. It comes from enduring, from showing up tired, sore, doubted, and still doing the work. You want to be built different? Then you got to stop running from resistance and start chasing it. Relentless mental toughness means you choose the hard path, even when the easy one's right there. It means when people flake, you stay solid. When pressure mounts, you don't break, you break through. The difference between those who wish and those who win is simple: pain tolerance. Can you sit in discomfort long enough to change your life? Can you stay locked in when nothing's working, nobody believes, and everything in you says, tap out? That's mental warfare. And the battlefield is inside your head. The ones who win, they train their mind like their life depends on it, because it does. Every thought is a rep. Every decision is a set. You don't get strong by chance, you get strong by choice. So choose pressure, choose pain, choose growth, because the only way out is through. You want to know what separates legends from the loud? It's the no matter what mindset. Not the most talented, not the most connected, but the ones who decided, I'm doing this no matter what. No matter how tired, how broke, how unmotivated, how misunderstood, they keep moving. That's what it takes. You think the greats didn't feel pain? You think they didn't have doubt, fear, distractions? Nah, they just made one non-negotiable decision. I don't stop, I don't stop. Most people operate off of emotion. They move when it's easy, when it feels good, when it looks cool. But life don't care about your feelings. Life cares about your decisions. And when you build a no matter what engine inside of you, when quitting gets removed as an option, that's when the game changes. That's when you stop flinching and start finishing. Let me be real. You're not gonna feel like it every day. You're not gonna wake up inspired every morning, but that doesn't matter. What matters is, do you show up anyway? Do you honor your word when nobody's watching? Do you finish what you start? That's what winners do. They move with consistency, not convenience, with commitment, not comfort. You build your life one decision at a time, and the only ones that count are the ones you keep when it's hard. So ask yourself right now, what would happen if you just refused to quit? What would shift in your life if no matter what became your new standard? Because once you lock that in, everything else falls in line. Pressure, it don't break you, it reveals you. It's the spotlight that exposes whether you built your confidence on sand or stone. See, when everything's smooth, anybody can fake strength. But when the heat turns up, when the deadlines close, when the spotlight hits, that's when we find out who's who. Most people panic under pressure. They flinch, freeze, fold. But built different people, they rise. Not because pressure is easy, but because pressure is the proving ground. Every great breakthrough is born from pressure. Every next level is guarded by it. You can't avoid it. You shouldn't avoid it. You should welcome it. Because pressure don't show up to punish you. It shows up to prepare you. You're being shaped, tested, stretched, and that's how diamonds are made. But you gotta shift the mindset. Pressure isn't something to fear. It's something to train in. So when life hits, you don't crumble, you climb. When things get tight, you don't tap out, you tap in. You start breathing slower, thinking sharper, moving smarter. That's what winners do. They don't let the moment own them, they own the moment. So the next time the heat rises, don't pray for it to go away, lean into it. That's your cue, your moment, your invitation to level up. Because pressure ain't your enemy, it's your edge. The most dangerous thing you'll ever face ain't failure. It's that little voice in your head whispering, "You're not enough." That voice, that's the thief of everything. It don't shout. It creeps. It sounds like logic. It sounds like reason. But really, it's fear in disguise, insecurity dressed up as caution. And if you don't destroy it, it will destroy you. That voice is why people stay in bad jobs, toxic relationships, small dreams, because they believe the lie. They think they're too old, too young, too broken, too behind. But let me make this clear. Your beliefs shape your behavior, and your behavior shapes your reality. So if you want to change your life, you got to change what you believe is possible. Stop saying, "I've never done that before," and start saying, "I've never tried that with fire in my chest." Stop saying, "That's just how I am," and start saying, "That's who I was." You're not stuck. You're just repeating. You're not lost. You're just listening to the wrong voice. It's time to rewrite the script. Choose new words. Build new habits. Say this out loud. I can evolve. I will change. I am worth the fight. Because you are. But if you want to see it, you gotta believe it first. You gotta believe it louder than the lies, louder than the past, louder than the people who gave up on themselves and want you to do the same. Destroy the belief, and you'll destroy the barrier. Fear is a liar, and doubt is its little brother. They don't need facts, they just need a moment of weakness. They'll crawl into your head, set up camp, and start whispering nonsense like, "What if you fail? What if they laugh? What if you're not ready?" And most people, they listen. They hand the wheel over to fear and wonder why they never go anywhere. But let me break this for you right now. Fear is a story, not a sentence. It's made up, it's fiction, and you're the author. That means you can flip the script whenever you decide to stop being the victim and start being the main character. Doubt only has power when you feed it. Every time you hesitate, second guess, stall out, you give it strength. But when you move through the fear, when you act in spite of it, it crumbles. It gets smaller. And you get stronger. That's how you beat it. Not by waiting for it to disappear, but by walking through it like it ain't got hands. The fear won't vanish, but neither will your mission. So what's more important? Being comfortable in your hesitation or being proud of your execution? You've wasted enough time letting fear run the show. Now it's time to evict it. You don't need to be fearless. You just need to fear less. Take the shot, make the call, launch the move, because fear can't stop you unless you let it drive. Failure ain't the finish line, it's the furnace. It's where pressure meets purpose, where ego dies and growth gets born. But too many people treat failure like it's final, like it's a verdict instead of a lesson. Nah, failure is feedback. It's data. It's the universe showing you what didn't work so you can build better. But if you let it shame you, if you let it silence you, you'll miss the whole point. I've failed more times than I can count, relationships, goals, businesses, ideas, and every single time it cut deep. But it also carved out space for something stronger. That's what failure does. It strips you, humbles you, but it also prepares you. Built different people don't run from failure. They study it, use it, grow from it. They understand that falling doesn't make you weak. Staying down does. Every time you fail and get back up, you build muscle. Mental, emotional, spiritual muscle. The kind you can't fake. The kind you can't buy. The kind that makes you unbreakable when it counts. So if you've fallen, good. That means you tried. That means you're in the arena. But don't just fall and sit there. Learn something. Adjust your grip, tighten your stance, and swing again. Because the real flex ain't in avoiding failure. It's in getting so good at bouncing back, people forget you ever stumbled. Let's cut the fluff. No more, I'm thinking about it. No more, I'm gonna start soon. No more, when things calm down. You've said all that before, and where did it get you? Exactly. Same place, different day. So here's the new standard. What will you do today? Not next week, not when you feel ready. Right now. Because that's the line between the doers and the dreamers. The movers and the maybe-laters. Excuses feel good in the moment, but they steal everything from your future. They dress up laziness, disguise fear, and sell you comfort, while your potential dies in silence. You know what's harder than grinding? Regret. You know what hurts more than sacrifice? Waking up one day and realizing you wasted it all. So ask yourself, are you really tired or just undisciplined? Are you really stuck or just scared to go all in? I'm not here to coddle you, I'm here to call you out. Because you're better than this. You're capable of more. But capability means nothing without action. You got a window right now, a small one, and it's closing with every excuse you make. So what will you do with it? Will you finally stand up and move? Will you finally honor that fire in your chest? Or will you stay in the cycle, hoping, wishing, waiting? Built different ain't a mindset you talk about. It's one you prove, every single day, starting with this one. Here's the truth nobody tells you. Change doesn't stick until your identity shifts. You can set goals, write plans, read books, watch all the motivational clips you want. But if you still see yourself as the same person, you'll sabotage it all. Because behavior follows belief. And belief is rooted in identity. You can't keep calling yourself lazy and expect to move like a machine. You can't keep wearing the label insecure and expect to command rooms. You gotta become it before you be it. Start seeing yourself as disciplined, even when you're still learning how to be. Start saying, I'm consistent, even when your habits are still shaky. Speak the future into the present, not as fake hype, but as truth in training. Your current results are not your ceiling, they're just the echo of your past self. But today, you get to shift. You get to decide that the old version of you, the one who made excuses, backed down, played small, is gone, buried, done. And from this moment forward, you walk, talk, move. Think like someone who's built different. That means you say no to distractions, yes to discipline. That means you protect your energy, prioritize your vision, and carry yourself like a problem solver, not a victim. You rewrite who you are, not with words, but with work. So stop trying to improve the old you and start introducing the world to the real you, the one who was buried under fear, but not anymore. You weren't put here just to pay bills and post selfies. You were built to leave a mark, a legacy, something that echoes long after you're gone. And I'm not talking about fame. I'm talking about impact, about making the kind of moves that change your bloodline, shift your circle, and light a fire in people you may never even meet. That's legacy. It ain't about being liked, it's about being remembered. And the only way to do that is to live on purpose. Not someday, not when life slows down. Right now, you got something in you the world needs, but you've been burying it under comfort, fear, doubt, and distraction. And for what? For likes? For fake approval? For another year of almost? Nah, that ends today. From this point on, everything you do, how you show up, how you speak, how you grind, it all becomes part of your legacy. The question is, will it be something worth repeating, or something people use as a warning? Will your name hold weight or just take up space? You've got people watching you, people rooting for you, and some praying you never wake up. So what are you gonna do about it? Are you gonna keep playing it small? Or finally become the example your younger self needed? The example your future family deserves? Build the life that makes your last name mean something. Because when you're built different, legacy isn't optional. It's the mission. This ain't just motivation. This is marching orders. No more waiting, no more warming up, no more dipping your toe in the water. From this moment forward, it's all gas, no brakes. You've been inspired before, sure. But did it change you? Did it push you to move, or did it wear off by the weekend? This time is different. Not because the words are louder, but because you're finally ready to listen, ready to commit, ready to build. The mission starts now. Not next month, not when it feels easy, not when the timing's perfect. You are the timing, you are the move, you are the shift you've been praying for. But here's the thing, motivation fades. This fire in your chest, it's got a short fuse unless you act on it. So write it down, post it, speak it out loud. Make the declaration that today is the line in the sand, the before and after moment. Because the comfort zone ain't just holding you back, it's killing what's rare inside you. And I promise you this, when you start moving different, the world will treat you different. But only if you start, only if you move. Only if you stop playing around with your own potential and start protecting it like your life depends on it, because it does. This ain't the end of a speech. This is the beginning of your next chapter. No more waiting. The mission starts now. So now what? You gonna walk away hyped or walk away changed? That's the real test. Because hype fades, but identity sticks. And right now, you've got a decision to make. Do you go back to scrolling, back to settling, back to soft habits and dead-end thinking? Or do you finally rise? Rise into the version of you that don't flinch at resistance, that don't ask for permission to be great, that don't shrink when life turns up the heat. This is your wake-up call, not just to do more, but to be more. You weren't built to blend in. You were built to break molds. You weren't made for the sidelines. You were born to run the whole field. And you don't need another reminder of your potential. You need a rebellion against the version of you that keeps wasting it. So this is it. No more maybe, no more next time, no more talking about it. You're either all in or out of the way. The mission is active. The clock is ticking. The standard is set. And the challenge is real simple. Show the world what built different really looks like. Not with words, but with work. Not with noise, but with moves. It starts right now. In your next breath, your next rep, your next step. Let them sleep. Let them doubt. Let them watch. Just make sure when they do, they see you on fire. If you made it this far, I see you not just as a listener, but as a fighter. Someone who's tired of average, allergic to excuses, and ready to move different. And for that, I'm grateful. Because this ain't just about me talking. It's about us building. This is a movement, a mission, a mindset, and you're part of it now. So don't just feel inspired, act inspired. Don't just nod along, move something. Text your accountability partner, rewrite that goal, post it up where you can't ignore it. And if this hits your soul, share it, because you never know who's one decision away from waking up. You're not alone on this road. I got you. We got you. The Built Different family ain't about being perfect. It's about being real, about showing up raw, honest, relentless every single day. So from me to you, thank you for locking in, for showing up, for fighting the comfort that's been holding you back. But don't let this moment fade. Cement it, mark it, move from it, because talk is cheap and comfort's already taken too much from you. It's time to take it back. So here's the challenge. Next time that soft voice creeps in and tells you to slow down, sit out, give up, I want you to say 5 words out loud. Now, I'm built different. And then prove it.